I guess we could just get on started then. Let me try to call this boy woman. Cause that boy
Yeah.
love that zombies, boy. I tell you that, boy.
Hey, you know what, man?
I ain't gonna lie though, man. I was on zombies with him, and then I seen the call coming through, and I was like, "Oh snap! I didn't know he was about to do the video right now."
Hey,
Nah,
I'm not
cause
gonna
like
lie, bro.
I went cause I looked at the time right, and I'm like, let me just chill back for a minute. I woke up, I went to sleep, and I woke up. I'm like, oh, it's like 5. I'm like, oh, let me hurry up try to catch him before it's too late. Cause oh man, I was just laying back for a minute. I'm like, oh, it's like 5 o'clock. I'm like, man,
That's crazy.
What up?
Dang.
what is happening?
What is happening?
So we is
Yeah.
back here again, bruh, with another one
Yes,
In
indeed.
the thing though.
Another one.
for another long one, bruh. A 4-hour film, bruh. At that.
Oh my gosh.
I know you-
It is 4 hours. It's 4 hours
Right.
and 13 minutes.
Which I kind of
So-
appreciated compared to that last one, bro, because I'm like, this is way different from the Josh Whedon version that we got 3 years ago, or 4 years ago. Cause man, boy,
So that was gonna be my
Yeah.
thing. So I mean, so getting back into what Frank did last time though. By show of hands, how many people like the video? How many like the movie?
I for sure prefer it. Yeah, I'm with that one. I'm definitely.
So
with
I'm
that.
like, yo,
Josh Snyder.
like honestly, I think what really made it so much better though was the fact that overall Dark Side was up in it,
Mhm.
and
Yes.
the fact that each hero, like Flash, didn't just come in out of nowhere.
Mhm.
Cyborg
Yes.
didn't just come in out of nowhere. It was actually all set up to be brought in. So
True
like,
that.
yeah, we don't like necessarily fully have their backstory, but as far as like how they were incorporated into the story though was a whole lot better.
Yeah.
Hey, it was. You know what? I liked how it showed. I forget his name.
Evan Wolf?
No, yeah. I definitely like his remake, man. His
He
remake
looked way better than he
looked
did in the
way
last
more
one.
hardcore.
Oh my gosh.
He looked like
Even
a
with
character
the
off
voice,
like
the voice was so much better.
Yeah,
right,
he did.
because in the last one he did like a video game character on the Josh Whedon version, bro.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, you know what? I don't know, bro. It looked like they tried to like, I don't know, bro. But yeah, and also like how he, like his character, like the way he was fighting and everything, how quick he was and everything, like all that was different from like the first one. Like I liked how we seen him, but also like the fact that he wasn't like the main. Like obviously, like I like how they showed this one. Like there's someone much more terrorizing, than him. And I don't know. I'm definitely excited for the next one, man. Whenever they decide.
If they make
start
That's
Next
doing
if,
one.
bro, because yeah, they
Hopefully.
trying to make it seem like WB is not trying to continue the story, which don't make
that.
no
I
sense
know,
to me,
which
bro.
is crazy.
Yeah, bro. I don't
They didn't
understand
like
that, bro.
they didn't like how Zack Snyder came in and made a better movie than them.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you really look at it though, when you look at Zack Snyder on what he does though, he's producer on a lot of what DCEU is doing.
Yeah.
Like he was producer up on Wonder Woman, I think Aquaman. He did Man of Steel.
Batman's
yeah.
Batman,
Yeah.
so it's like-
director.
Man, still.
So
Right,
for me, I'm like, yo, like DC, they have a way to do it. So first of all, what they need to do is stop trying to be like Marvel. Let's keep it 100.
That's
like,
where they really
stop
messed up
trying to be
at.
like Marvel. Don't
I'm
do
gonna
that.
clap on that one, bro, because something so simple is not getting through their heads.
It's really just not. It's like that's your main. Like I'm gonna keep it 100. Okay. When it comes to the comics, like I said, I don't really read the
He's
comics.
sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But I don't really read the comics. However, DC comics are so much darker than Marvel.
Way more
Yeah,
darker, yeah.
yeah.
Way
Like
more
by
darker.
my understanding, DC comics are so much darker than Marvel. So with that alone, like again, we don't need to see Batman's origin story like over and over again. We don't need to see all that.
Yeah.
So when they say
yeah.
Batman beat Superman, I'm like, okay, we already know his story. I understand how he's trying to get up into this, but it was just not executed that well.
Mm.
And for Zack Snyder, like was he supposed to already be doing? Was he like when he did Justice League? He was already trying to make it a 4-hour film, right? Or was it supposed to be like 3
No.
hours?
I think
It was
he was
supposed
trying to
to-
make it to 2 parts, like kind of like similar to how the Russo brothers did with Endgame and Infinity War. It's like because like the movie too long, where you have to make it into 2 parts, especially if it comes out over to 3.5 hours. That'll be smart enough if you can make it to 2 parts. You know what I'm saying? Where you can profit off both of them. That
Yeah,
probably.
it feels too rushed to do that though. Like it's too rushed.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying.
especially
Like,
with this.
don't try
Yeah,
to be like Marvel, okay? Stop trying to have it be like Marvel versus DC type stuff.
Yeah.
Like, don't do that to us. Like, as the fans who love both, and I'm pretty sure they love both too. Like, even Stan Lee, like, interviewed what's his name? The dude who made part of the Batman comics. He he talked to him every now and then. It was like, yo, like there's love right there. So
Yeah.
don't try to copy, like, in a sense, your rivals. Don't do that. Do your own
Yeah.
thing.
Exactly.
So with that, it's like, yo, like, if you want to do
Exactly.
a 2-part thing, I feel that, but get like maybe like 6-7 movies into it. Don't try to do
Yeah, exactly.
like don't try to like just rush straight up into it because it's like, oh, we got to play catch up now. Marvel is like 20 plus movies into this shit. Don't do that to yourself.
Exactly. Yeah, I
Because
agree.
it's going to end
I
up
agree.
coming out like crap, like how it did, like Batman v Superman. I understand where they were going, but it was crap.
Yeah,
With the Justice League
exactly.
film, Zack Snyder was already doing a great job with it, but after the death of his daughter?
yeah.
Yeah.
After the death of his daughter, it was like, okay, I understand, pull that back. However, I feel like it probably should have just been delayed. Instead of trying to get a whole new director and try to push it out, it'd have been better to just be delayed. I understand that there's money in the investors and all that. Like, it's gonna be mad about it, but at the end of the day, what's the overall best thing to do? Like it's best to just rush it out, and then you got to do what you just did now, to where you got to get the actors to come back and do some reshoots, or just wait it out and bring them back in when everything is all cool.
Exactly.
Yeah, but I definitely like how this started off, because if you remember in the Josh Whedon version, how the movie started off with his funeral basically, and it's like, well, first they start off with the cameo with Superman talking to the kids first, and then it goes to his funeral. But in this one, it starts go off from Batman vs Superman, when it shows when he was fighting Doomsday, and it shows his scream. It went like through an echo throughout the whole universe, where it woke up all the mother boxes, which I feel I do like that, because in terms of that, Superman is like, in terms of this universe where we at right now, they know that he's the most popular species, like, or the most strongest species that's there right now. So it's like, so it would make sense. And then they don't really know too much of the mother box's history, but outside of Cyborg and Diana. So I understood why they were trying to bring that together in this one, because in Joss Whedon, it seemed like it was all, we didn't know where all this came from, at least in between Zack Snyder's vision, we got to see more, like, just more clues with this one, so I do like how this one did start off, because I'm like, we need to see how iconic Superman is, because these is iconic characters we talking about in DC, like, in terms of, like, if we want to compare that to Marvel, like, they is like iconic characters, they came first, so.
Did the first scene, and I don't know if it was the first scene, because I literally only watched the movie. I'm talking about the first
Don't worry about it.
Joss Whedon version. I only watched Joss Whedon version once. But in the beginning, wasn't it a Batman having his vision of the post-apocalyptic world?
I do not remember that. I don't think that was in the beginning.
That came in later.
I think that was a part today was getting all
The reason why I said I
together.
thought it was in the beginning, or like it might have not been like the first scene, but the reason why I thought it was in at least the first sprint of the movie is because that was the cause for him to actually get the team together. He kept having this vision of like the world being over, and realizing that the reason why the world might be over is because Superman ain't here no more, and there ain't nobody to defend it.
I know what it was. It was when it was on that Josh Whedon version, when he was talking to Alfred about his nightmare and all like that. And then that's when the scene led up to him trying to get the team together. And that's when we seen Flash and all like that. But in the Zack Snyder version was completely different, where you get to see Diana, like the Amazons, how they background, and how the old war was when Ares and what's his name, Zeus and all them ran into Darkseid at that time.
Yo, that was epic,
bruh.
man.
I love that, bruh.
The only thing I didn't like about that, and obviously it's just me being nitpicky, is that they made Zeus look like a young buff dude. And I was like,
he was just using his writing. He's way more.
Kratos and Leonidas. That's kind of what it made.
I was about to say that, bro. I was about to say Leonidas.
They was really trying to turn it into like a 300, almost like a, man. That shit was crazy.
Yeah,
bro.
everyone looked really young, and now I guess you can pull the concept to where it's like if they're a god, they kind of are eternal, so they could be forever young, kind of thing.
That's true.
Or it could be to where that was like the beginning of Zeus before he got old and stuff. Because that was
exactly.
That's when the young version.
I was about to say that. Like,
what is it, Ares? Because even Ares was there. Because they even took dude's face scan.
He the one that
to
stabbed
have
him.
it actually be like with the axe when he hit Darkseid. So I was like, yo, that's actually hella lit right there.
Yeah.
So and even with that, like you got to see from there. What was it? You got to see like part of the Green Lantern Corps.
Yeah, bro.
You got to like really see how they got down.
Yeah, because even in the first Wonder Woman film, how Ares was basically explaining how the old war and everything went. I don't know. I didn't know that he was basically talking about this what we was leading up to now. You know what I'm saying? Like it's good how I like how they connect up most of these stories together. Because at first I didn't really know. I didn't know how connected Ares was to this war and all like that. You know. So
was that the same character, that same actor who played?
It
Ares
looked like it looked like it's him.
Yeah. So what they did was they basically did did his face CGI there.
Yeah.
I don't think he came in and actually did it. They just did CGI for the face.
I mean, like it didn't look like his Well, obviously he had a helmet on, a huge helmet.
I think it did in a way.
No, he didn't. I don't think he had a helmet on.
It was like one of them. Yeah, he did have like one of them little. Yeah, he did. Yeah. But
I don't remember him having a helmet on. But okay. But yeah, but that's the thing. So the same dude who was in the first Wonder Woman, they used his face for CGI for him within this new Zack Snyder version.
Okay, for sure.
Since we're on the topic of the old Greek gods, do y'all think that there will ever be? Obviously, this is so super hyperbole, since we don't even know if they're ever going to even make a new Justice League or a secondary one or a sequel.
Yeah.
I would love to see the old gods.
You see him?
I do not look like him.
Yeah. It is because I want to say he takes his helmet off though.
Because the dude we thinking of, maybe I'm forgetting the bad. No, because the bad guy is the same guy who was in Harry Potter.
Yeah, same dude.
Yeah,
that is not that guy.
Same dude. That's him. That they just used
beard in the Zack Snyder cut. That cannot be the same dude.
That's
he has a whole strong jawline. The dude we talk about has a weak chin.
That's what I'm saying. It's just CGI though, so they basically just like constructed it to where it'll look like him for continuity instead of making it look like a whole different rando.
We is talking about DC CGI, which they had a bad issue with. You never know,
right? Because they did mess up his what was it, Superman's.
Bro, you know I never noticed that until Frank told. Bro, I remember when you told me that, bro. I did not notice that until you told me that, bro. Like as soon as we went to that scene, I noticed I was noticing like how he smiled like that. I'm like, bro, I never peeped that until Frank said that, bro, which is crazy. That was like almost like a year later. Something after that movie came out, I was like, damn, like I didn't even notice that at all, bro.
I think that was a bad casting. Although that actor is
Wait, you talking about Henry Cavill?
Wait, Henry Cavill?
As Superman, you talking about?
No.
I was about to say, boy.
That was an amazing cast. I don't care what nobody said. People could really. I feel that yes, they could have got a better Batman, but Ben Affleck did well, right?
Oh, Ben Affleck.
Yes,
okay.
Yes, there's possibility they might get a better Superman, but I ain't gonna lie, Henry Cavill, he's better than any other Superman we had besides
Christopher Reeves, like the legendary one, right?
And
oh yeah, you right. They did show that scene before they start fighting.
Oh my gosh,
That's him.
You right. That is CGI. You right.
That's him. That's CGI. It's CGI for sure, and it's him.
That's what I'm like. No, that's definitely gotta be him.
I do remember that part now because he did have his helmet up before they end up fighting and everything. That's when Diana was basically explaining that to Bruce. Yeah, I do remember that part now. Yeah.
I would love to see the old guy, like, because once you start getting into the backstory of Apocalypse, you get into the backstory of the new gods and stuff, and then you get into the backstory of like the old gods back in Zeus and all of them. I wonder if they're actually going to show what happened because they're not here to help anymore, which means they're gone or occupied or something.
Yeah. So as long as the Amazons' story's still here, they could explain that because the Amazons and the Atlanteans was up in there too. Do I remember seeing? It was Atlantean that was up in that war. Who was that? I'm trying to remember who was that person's name.
It was the Atlanteans because they came by boat.
Okay, all right. I just want to make sure. Okay, so it was them.
It was a war. It was the armies of man, which was the Vikings, some Asian army, and another army, and then it was the Atlanteans, who was led by the first king of Atlantis. I forget his name.
what
and
was his
then
name?
And the Land of
It
Course
was
2 was there
Atlan?
too.
King Atlan.
King At. Oh yeah, King At. Okay, that's
And
his
then
name.
it was the Amazonians led by the Queen, who's still alive to this day, led by the Queen, and then it was the old guys that came down, Green Lantern, and that's it.
Oh yeah, we gonna definitely get to the Lantern Corps in a minute because Zack Snyder been talking about putting Green Lantern in his universe from the very beginning. But I think just
And I
because
think
how
they're
that
trying to
one with Ryan Reynolds when it went so bad, they just kind of just left it out. It seemed like
He
you
did
know,
like
but he was supposed
And
to
I think
connect
with the Green Lantern
how
they're trying to do, I think they're trying to do the Black Green Lantern, right?
yeah, because they was
They
gonna
should.
do Hal Green and John Stewart at first. That's what he said he was trying to do, where he was trying to have just like both sides of the Lantern Corps come together. That's what he was trying to do at first. But I guess when the Hal Green version just did so bad, they just let it go. And I guess they've been trying to find the right person to play John Stewart, but I guess they haven't. I thought Idris Elba was gonna play him at first, but now they saying he playing Bloodsport now, so which is from the Suicide
Hey,
Squad, I
I
believe.
don't know how they gonna do this though, because it seems like I said, it seems like they rushed too much up into this because they already did. Who was that? Doomsday. And they got Darkseid up in here already. I mean, if anything, they could probably do it to where they can take the fight to Darkseid. If they could do it like that, to where it could lead up by a few movies, but at the same time, I feel like there's still like in a sense you have to look at the Batman. Like you got to do a movie about Batman's origins, like how he did that. Then you got to do another one where it was Joker killing Jason Todd, because that's mentioned and
Right.
his suit is in the movies.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Then you also have to look into going like, okay, where was Green Lantern? Why wasn't the Lantern Corps up in this? So that's probably like a 1 or 2 part movie, because you got probably John Stewart. Was it John Stewart?
John Stewart, yep.
Yes, you got John Stewart or Hal Jordan taking over the mantle of Green Lantern, but also you got to figure out, are they going to bring in Sinestro for that with the Yellow Lantern Corps? And then like it's a lot of bobbing and weaving that they got to do, to where it's either going to be backstories or it's going to be partial backstories that's leading into taking the fight to Darkseid, which personally, taking the fight to Darkseid, I feel like should be like a 2-part movie, where the first movie they get clapped, second movie they coming back.
I don't know, cuz I
Yeah.
think you're thinking of it from a fan's point of view, which is what should happen. But these studios ain't about, like, bro, their studios are not about to make another Batman origin, bro. They're not.
No, they're already doing that.
They in a
What?
way they kind of is with I know he's talking about the one with the dude from Twilight, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're
they
already
kind
doing
of
that.
is. Yeah.
That's not a Batman origin, though, right? It's what happens when
is.
Batman becomes.
I ain't gonna lie, I think it is because he's a young version of the Bat, so it's like they
He's
have to
he
bring
was
in his
young.
origin story if he's playing off he's young, and they gon'
They gonna retcon it,
I don't know.
I don't know.
I really don't know.
bro. I don't want to hear about that new Batman, bro, because that's
You know-
obviously some stuff that the studio or WB or whatever is trying to do. Bro, that's just bullshit. But anyway, let's get
You know
back on
what they
topic.
might be
I don't
doing?
want to talk about that.
What they might be doing is, because if you remember, if you remember at the end of Zack Snyder's Justice League, when Joker was like, how many
Alternate
futures,
timelines, yeah.
how many timelines are you going to be screwing up before you got the cojones to die yourself?
Mhm.
This new Batman origin movie could potentially be a different timeline. It could potentially be that. We don't fully know yet.
In the Flashpoint movie, we supposed to get the old the Michael Keaton version of Batman. Supposedly, the first one from the late '80s. That's supposed to be in the Flashpoint movie too, where he goes back in time and see like the 3 versions of the Batmans. You know, I think that's how they gonna probably do it through the Flashpoint movie that's supposed to be coming out. Because Michael Keaton said he was
I
supposed
feel
to
like
be
that's
part
a
of it.
lot to do, though.
That
I don't know.
you're right, because that is a lot of information you gotta put in just one film, like that is. But I mean, I really don't know, because like I said, with DC movies, you don't know what to expect at all, bruh. You really do not know.
All right,
bruh.
let me take a look. Who would rather see another Batman movie, or who would rather see a Flash movie, or another Green Lantern movie? All right, so who would rather see another
All right, some
Batman movie?
Cyborg or series with Cyborg or something. I feel like they gonna have to turn to series now, because especially gonna open up the theaters and everything. It seems like that's probably I don't know in terms of box office and all like that, but in terms of numbers and everything, I feel like during the streaming
I
and
don't know,
everything.
cousin.
With DC, it could
I
probably
know,
be cool, because DC, in terms of their shows, actually pretty cool. So if you could turn it to a series with the Justice League, I mean, that would probably be, I don't know.
Yeah, that. Hey, the Justice League cartoon was elite, bruh. Like, and Teen Titans, we grew up on there, bro.
Right, we
So,
for real. Yeah.
if they
Yeah, but that's when
at
the
least get
Go
it.
ahead, Solomon.
No. I mean, I'm just saying, like, pretty much, like, obviously stuff has changed, and at the same time, storylines from these very accurate. I mean, like, even as an adult right now, I would rewatch it because it was, interesting to watch. And obviously, the movies that we've come out with, because also with all the DC movies that we have come out with before this last one, we've got so many cliffhangers that were like, that led up to nothing. Like the whole fact of it was and to the Young Lantern, nothing happened. Like, it was just like, okay. And then after the dark, you hear the lady at the end
Cutting in and out, cut off.
I can hear you.
Oh, I say, can y'all hear him?
like, oh, I like that name, Ron.
Trying.
Hello?
I can hear it a little bit.
Your network cutting in and out.
Huh?
Hear me now?
All right, I'm good. I don't need nothing. All right.
Let me walk.
I'll say it like this though. They have to keep in mind that one of the key facts, like one of the key notes that they really need to look into is the Flashpoint paradox. That's like overall like one of the main stories of DC.
Yeah.
That's like that's like a huge story, because with the Flashpoint paradox, it could lead into like any different timeline of theirs. So that's what they should probably kind of like focus on right there, is like the Flashpoint paradox, because kind of like the cartoon movie they did was basically the Flashpoint paradox is you can actually watch it in the beginning or the end of the series because of how good it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like with the Flashpoint paradox, the thing is with the Flashpoint paradox movie, they basically said it was like, you could watch it first in the cartoon series or you could watch it last because it's basically the same.
Right.
Oh, the movie. I like the movie.
I see that.
I think that they're going to use his ability to go back in time or to reverse time in the next movie, since they put that little bit in there as and that little bit in there wasn't like, his ability to do that wasn't making or breaking their victory, which was great. But in the new one, it actually might be, because he is the one still alive. He's one of the few who's still alive, and the world is already, gone to shit. It's post-apocalyptic, Superman going crazy. He might have to run his ass off again.
Question is, will Superman be able to catch him? Because if that's the case, he could have been did it.
Now this is my question about that, since you say that. Is this where we gonna see the Reverse Flash come into this, or he doesn't play throughout this story in this universe? But he has to, because if he keep breaking through time, that's what end up crossing the universe where it brings the Reverse Flash part in, right?
We zoom and all them. Yeah.
I don't know. Like I feel like right now, for them to do that, they can't put this all into just one movie, or else it's going to be like a 5-hour movie, because it's just way too much information. It's going to be way too many villains, way too much information. So it's like they got to figure out how all this plays out.
Yeah,
and realistically, if they want Zack Snyder to do this, I'd say go ahead and let him. Let him be director, producer, because he knows what he's doing. But at the same time, it's the people at WB who's kind of like, halting him, like, with creative. With his creativity, because
they must not like money, bro. They must not like money.
Yeah, it seemed like they just trying to just follow any project that they feel like, that can work, and if it don't, they just like, they trying to scrap it and just trying to reboot it something else, just like right off the bat. It's like, damn, bro.
That's prideful though. That's like okay, since we didn't do it, we don't want it, even though it's making hundreds of millions of dollars. That's super dumb to me.
That's stupid.
It's because
WB owns all the DC character rights to do the movies, don't they?
I believe so.
It's
That's
theirs.
what I'm saying. So think about it, because right now, as far as Marvel goes, they own, like, Marvel now owns the right. Disney basically owns the rights to do every Marvel character except for Spider-Man. So
And
that's
the
why
company,
everything is going so well. If WB actually owns the rights to do the films to all the DC characters, at least like probably like the A-list characters, you don't know how important it is for me to say this right now. It is very important that they need to stop doing stupid stuff with these movies and with these characters because they have such great potential.
yeah,
It is such
Exactly.
great potential that they're missing out on.
Yeah,
right.
exactly. Yeah, exactly. I agree for sure. And that's my point. That's what I'm saying. Like, when it comes to like how can I say, man? Like, at least with some or most of the Marvel movies, man, a lot of them tied in. Like, especially when it comes to Avengers, like there was always a cameo of some character in one of the movies, man, or something like that. And with DC, it was always just remakes, or it was always like a movie, and that movie led to nothing. Like, I mean, like I said, like y'all probably can hear me in there, but can y'all hear me better now?
Yeah, I get you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
We
for
got
sure. Like with the, I mean, even though it was a boo boo movie, the whole uh, Green Lantern movie when they had Sinestro at the end and he turned into the Yellow Lantern, like it went nowhere after that. And then and even the Dark Knight movie with freaking Bane, they had of the first Robin, right? Freaking whatever his name was, and freaking I remember the lady at the end. She was like, "Oh, like what do you?" They were like, "What do they call you?" And remember, she was like, "I like that name, Robin," but it didn't go nowhere. Like it was always like they had so much potential to like be like, "Yo, this would be a great opportunity to bring this character or this character such and such in the next movie." But it was like, well, that it didn't lead nowhere, and then they came up with something new, and it had nothing to do with that universe before. And it's just like, bro, like people get tired of seeing that because like y'all hype up all these characters and like think that we gonna see this character in this movie when it's like, bro, y'all had no intention of doing that. And, so I'm just like, bro, I'm tired of seeing that. Now, with Justice League characters that we have now, I'm sure everything, I mean, I don't even know because now they have, now they're coming out with this new Batman. And I'm hoping that, I mean, I don't know because it seems like it's not that, it doesn't tie in obviously with, Ben Affleck, right? Because I mean, unless he's going to be like older, like I don't know. I just feel like they should just.
I
They
forget.
They're
That's
leaving
just
everybody in shambles. But
You know what
before
I'm
we
saying?
go in on WB, let's at least talk about the Snyder before we go in on WB.
It would make sense to just incorporate the movies that they come out with and put them together to make something better. Like and not to copy Avengers, but to make it as likable as Avengers because people want to see that. People want to see like all these movies. Not just tie into each other, but actually make sense when they finish a character or they're starting to develop a character, like with Suicide Squad and freaking
That club music.
the last movie when it showed pretty much what's his name? Can't think. Freaking Jason Todd's uniform after he got killed. But like, okay, like, are we going to see the Red Hood? Are we going to see like you know what I'm saying? Like give us something, man. Like like. I mean,
that's a lot. That's diving in. I feel like that's diving into it. Like what, to get back to the movie.
Yeah.
There's a reason why they didn't show a human Green Lantern. Out of both the Green Lanterns they shown, right? They didn't show a human Green Lantern. There's a reason why, like they don't have the Hawk people yet.
Yeah, the Hawk.
Girl, the guy, right? Because they haven't have a proven concept yet. The concept isn't proven. The reason why they're not going to add a hell of new characters like Nightwing or Robin or whatever is because they haven't got the main Justice League character movie good yet. They just haven't. They haven't got the main movies. I can only count on one hand how many good Batman movies I've seen, and there's been like 10 plus. You know what I'm saying? I can only count on a few fingers how many Superman movies were good. And it's just like you haven't have a proven concept. If you can't make an epic Justice League movie, you would never be able to make an epic standalone movie by have it be, someone else. You can never do that. You can never make an epic Robin movie. You can never make an epic Wonder Girl movie. You can never make an epic, Speedy movie. You can never do any of that. You can't get these main Justice League movies down, packed, and proven as a concept. Mm-hmm. Now, as we know, the studio is already split. Hell of people are like, we want to make more towards Zack Snyder's vision, and a lot of them are still loyal to WB's kind of like iron fist with it. But personally, if you ain't gonna take like Marvel, right? Marvel has done a lot of stuff that we were like, come on, man.
Yeah,
but at the end of
they
the
ain't
day,
perfect
it was
either.
a good project or product because they took risks. They took risks that made sense.
Exactly.
WB with this movie, with at least the first movie, they took risks that made they didn't take no risk in the last movie, right? At all. In this movie, they took risks that made sense. They put Apocalypse in there, and he was only cameoing a few times. They put two different Green Lanterns in there. They gave Superman his black suit. Like, bro, they was taking risks, bro. And it all made sense.
Yeah.
And that's what the thing, too. Because like you said, like it's the fact that you got to take the risk to go with it. So, and I'll even say this, like honestly, like how they did it, like how he had to do it now to where it was, what was it, like 6 parts, and then the epilogue.
Yeah.
I actually enjoyed that.
Yeah.
The fact that he.
Yeah,
I actually like the fact that he did make it 6 parts because it's like each part in a sense like covered the story to one of the members of the Justice League to the point where at least until they got up to them being together.
Right.
So that's why I'm like, okay, so that was really dope. I really enjoyed that, and I actually like how they didn't really get to the apocalyptic scene until the end.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm glad that they didn't put it somewhere in the middle or in the beginning. I'm like, it makes more sense to be in the end because you see Darkseid like throughout, like, you know, the beginning and middle of the movie. And then it's like, okay, because of certain actions, you're going to see him at the end and how he, like, in a sense, like he somehow corrupted Superman, or Superman was like, nah, Joker did this. I need to go kill this dude. Mm-hmm. So you know, you kind of get like that Injustice 2 feeling to it in a sense. So like, don't get me wrong, don't do Injustice in a sense, but at least like, you know, pick certain things.
I feel like bro.
They did this.
Bro, me and Terry talk about this all the time, bro. If they do Injustice, it's going to be better than anything they ever did.
Yeah, because I was just about to get into that because because like if you look at most of these characters I don't want to say that's new, but basically new characters we've seen in terms of this Zack Snyder Justice League, they all come from the Injustice timeline, you know? Like even the Flash we seen towards the end of the movie, the Joker, the only thing that threw me off with that was the Darkseid part, because I think that happens before the Darkseid thing even happens in terms of the Injustice comics and all like that. I'm not really sure because I don't think.
Well, they're not in the same. Remember, the Injustice comics are in a different timeline.
Right. Yeah. So I feel like in the movies, I thought they were trying to connect that. They were just trying to find a way where they could just mix both stories into one. Like that's why I feel like they was doing.
I think that's what they did, though, bro. I think that's what they're doing. Well, okay, if in theory this becomes a trilogy of movies, bro, in my heart of hearts, I feel like that's what they're doing. They're literally doing that. Like, okay, the reason why. Hold on, wait. Hey, before I spoil anything, has anyone read or played the Injustice game? Haven't read or played the Injustice game?
I stream it. And I did. Yeah.
I haven't read the comics, but I've played both Injustice 1 and 2. I don't fully remember what happened, but I did play the games.
Mm-hmm.
What about you, Solo?
Yeah, same.
All right, cool. So the comics are the comics go. No, the game doesn't cover all the comics. The game covers the first 2 chapters of the comics. So there's 4 chapters, right? Or 4. They call it year 1, year 2, year 3, year 4. Mm-hmm. And in these years, they have a few chapters, and the game covered chapter 1 and chapter 2. And chapter 3 and 4 is just as great and crazy as chapter 1 and 2. But in chapter 1, the reason why Superman goes bad, and as you guys seen in the game, is because Lois dies. He kills Lois on accident, obviously, because Joker.
But why? I was about to say, but why though? But why he killed her though?
Right. So Joker plays. So understand this. Joker is the reason why they had Joker survive in that post-apocalyptic scene was for a reason. It wasn't just to irritate Batman or to be the thorn in the team's side. They brought him in there because he was pivotal. He's pivotal to the plan. Why would Joker be pivotal to the plan? Joker's not special. He's not intelligent. He's super sinister and super strategic, but he's not special compared to the Justice League. I think he's important to the plan because he's important to Superman, right? Yeah. If they say, hey, y'all, if they put up a trap and put Joker as the bait, bro, Superman's going to go.
Yeah.
Because I feel that they're tying in the reason why Lois died is probably because of Superman. Now, peep game. Did y'all notice? And I'm gonna blow y'all mind right now. This is gonna kind of not prove my point, but make a more higher precedent to the point. Did y'all notice that Lois was not just killed, but she was burned?
She was burned. Yep.
Did y'all notice
now,
that?
isn't it
Go ahead.
I was gonna say in the Injustice series, wasn't it that she was pregnant with Clark's baby?
Yep.
And that's why he basically turned, was because he didn't mean to kill her, but Joker did something to where he messed with his mind and he basically killed her by accident. So I know in the Injustice game, Superman kills her without knowing he killed her. So I know it, and I know at the end of Justice League, because I did it to where, like, I know in the first one, the Joss Whedon version, she's just holding a box. But now in the Zack Snyder cut, she's holding a baby basket.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I think she's also supposed to be, I think it was, I can't remember where it was, but she was also supposed to be like contemplating, like, that she's also pregnant.
Well, she
Yeah,
took
you seen the pregnancy test in the background when in the scene she was talking.
Yeah, me and Terry noticed that, bro. She took a pregnancy test and it was on her counter when she went to go answer the door. Or
for Martha, I think it was for Martha, was it? Or it was probably before that.
Hey,
yeah.
Bruh, did y'all? Okay, and that's.
She's pregnant, bruh. She's pregnant.
Everything you just said, bruh, this made something click in my head, which is like a really vital thing now because I'm like, whoa. Did you catch when Martian Manhunter was like, "The world needs you too, Lewis"? Like, bruh, like I feel like him saying that was like, bruh, the world do need you.
These is all wake up calls, bro.
Why would the world need her? Because
right,
all she
bro.
is, you know what I'm saying? That's why I think that it's going to go with the Justice storyline because they got her pregnant, right? I'm 100% sure she's pregnant right now.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
They got her pregnant. They got Superman actually like viciously beating ass, right?
Yep.
They also have the Joker playing a part where he shouldn't be playing a part in this story at all. Right? In the Apocalyptic story, Joker was never ever in any comic ever a part of the Apocalypse storyline.
Exactly. Yeah.
Why would he be a part of it now?
Even in Injustice, he was dead.
But y'all gotta remember, he did bring up Harley Quinn, which is in terms of this DC, she is in this universe, but they didn't show her yet. But eventually, they gonna bring where she plays a part up in it too, because that's when Batman brought up Harley. Dude, I think that's what connects it. I don't know if he probably plays a part where he used Lois Lane as a trap through from Harley and Joker. I'm not really sure. I think that's how we're probably gonna do it. Cause you gotta remember, Superman was in the Batcave when he found Lois. Cause you see in the background, you seen Robin's suit with the Joker's letters on it.
Yep.
So I think he gonna probably do something where he just sets a trap between Bruce Wayne, where he probably thinking this, where he thinking Clark thinking this all coming from Bruce Wayne and all like that. Where he just goes straight for him, he just turns evil and all like that. Because I think everybody don't really know about this Joker character besides Bruce Wayne. I don't think too much really know about him at this point. Not all the Justice League characters, because they got to worry about Darkseid. Like that. I think only Bruce Wayne really know about. I think that's just between them, and I think that's how that's how the Joker gonna play his part up in it. How he gonna throw everybody off. Because obviously he like the most vulnerable one out of all the villains, But he know in terms he's the king of chaos. He just know how to figure out people. Just he just know how to figure people out. I don't know how, but the Joker always does it. I don't know how, but
now imagine this. Imagine he connects with Luthor because Luthor is connecting the team, right? He connects with Luthor to get the kryptonite. He sets the trap for Superman, and Superman shoots his woman with his laser eyes.
Yeah. That happened in the first.
Because the only person who could do that to her like that is him and Apocalypse. But Apocalypse walks up to him and like touches his shoulder, and Superman would never just not beat Apocalypse's ass if he just killed his woman, right? I think like what Terry is saying. I think that if it is in I haven't noticed the background when he was holding Lois.
Yeah,
I thought it was his step actually.
It was right before Darkseid put his hand on his shoulder. It was at that part.
Let's say they are in Batman's cave. That would make more sense that Joker did it. Joker would. That's perfect poetic justice. Joker's number one arch nemesis. He defeats in a sense Clark. He does defeat Clark because Clark turns into an evil person.
He turns evil, right?
He sets a trap in Batman's cave, right? And makes him kill Lois in Batman's cave.
Mm-hmm.
And then he thinks, because I don't know about in the game, but in the comics, Joker didn't know that Clark was gonna kill him. Superman was gonna kill him.
Yeah, no, he
Joker,
didn't.
like,
Nah.
Joker's like, all right, y'all got me now. That was my last joke.
Right.
Here you go. And then Superman just puts
Punch
his
right.
arm through him.
Yeah, right, bro.
You know what I mean? Obviously, things change when you actually, put a comic or a game and adaptation into a movie. But the reality is, bro, all of it is lining up to that. If that does not happen, bro, y'all can all stop the shit out of me. I'm 100% sure, in my heart, I'm 90% sure, in my heart of hearts, that they're mixing the apocalypse with the injustice. And one of the main reasons why I think Zack Snyder is doing this, because Zack Snyder has been exhausted. His story concepts are exhausted. DC story concepts are exhausted. They can only do what has been proven. The only proven thing that we know from DC is great is Injustice. Injustice came out with its games, and in that first week, bro, made millions of sales.
Yeah.
Millions of sales, bro.
And
all they did was use the same mechanics as Mortal Kombat, but it's a better story.
From WB, they all, same thing. But
which Mortal Kombat is done by WB too, isn't it?
Yep, it is. And boom, he part of both of them. Yep. But if you notice that because this is just between from the comics and then even from the movies I peep, because you gotta remember even in the game and even the comics, Harley Quinn is still alive in this universe. But he said in the movie with her last breath, he was basically letting the Joker know like what he was basically saying with Harley Quinn's last breath. So basically, I don't know if he was teasing that she dies in this universe too. And I think that's what's gonna keep the Joker alive, because if you remember, it was the Joker that killed off, and it was Harley Quinn was the one that was out, and basically Batman just brought her in because it was like, we either gotta lock you up or you got to work with us. You got to choose like which way you got to go. So but it seemed like in terms of the DCEU, it seemed like Harley Quinn is dead already, where the Joker is still out there. Where I don't know, they're gonna lead up to him either Superman trying to kill him off, or they're gonna just use Joker as the centerpiece of this, like how they did with Lex Luthor and Batman vs Superman. Like he gonna just be the centerpiece between that to make everybody go against each other, because that's clearly what he did in Injustice, even in the comics and the games too. Like he just I don't know, because I think it was probably based off the mother boxes too and how they did in the games, but we already passed that story in the Zack Snyder Justice League. So I don't know how, like you said, they probably have to use Lois Lane, and it has to just connect with all the deaths between most of the characters, between Robin, Harley Quinn, and like you said, Lois Lane. But it all connects right back to Clark Kent and Bruce Wayne though. So that's what might set it off right there. It's always between them two right there. So I mean, it probably could be that where he probably used that trap to kill off Lois Lane, and he used that. He'll put that in the Batcave where he'll make that to go against the Justice League, because Batman was the one that brought them all together, and he gonna look at him as like, we were supposed to save everybody. That was kind of like the thing he went towards Clint, because if you remember in the first Man of Steel, when he fought General Zod, he basically destroyed half the city right there. You don't know how many people they could have killed when they destroyed half that stuff when they was fighting each other. Where Batman, when he was looking from his perspective, where he like, all these people is dead, where you trying to save the world, but you still putting people's lives at risk with these powers that you have, similar to like how they did in Civil War with the Avengers and like that. So, I mean, I don't know. I feel like they could be going that direction with Injustice. I mean, that would be the best plan, because anything else they did not work, bro. At this point, bro, that would probably be the best route to go with.